Fishing Intelligence, a fishing improvement podcast for the modern angler. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another week of the Fishing Intelligence podcast. I'm Jacob Jasonic, and on this week we're doing things a little bit different. A few days ago, I recorded a live podcast with Gene Jensen, aka the Flukemaster, Alex Rudd from Alex Rudd Fishing, and Scott from Snap Scott Photography. We were out on Lake Chickamauga doing a little bit of an Anglr content trip. I was showing them around the bullseye and some of the new web app features and how they can use those to better teach people how to fish. It was a live episode, so I'm going to play that for you guys now. It's about an hour long, and I hope you guys enjoy.
It is working.
Hey, we're only 30 minutes late. That's fine.
No, we said 7:30-ish.
So, to explain to you guys
world,
what just happened is we're using Google Hangouts, which is something I vowed never to use again because of the amount of issues I always have with it. And we're having them again. But, as you can see, Mr. Alex Rudd is hanging out with us. See, and whenever time he makes a noise, his ugly face shows up on the screen. So,
Hi.
don't fart.
We can back the computer up.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
That was a Christmas ad on your videos, is what that was.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Alrighty.
All right, so thanks for you guys being patient with us. I know we're a bunch of technical idiots. It is what it is, but right here I have Mr. Scott Butcher.
What's going on, guys?
The man behind my mission.
Yeah.
I got Jacob from Anglr. I never can pronounce his last name.
Jasonic.
Whatever.
It's like Sonic with a J.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
Sonic.
J-Sonic.
But
Like
that
a
makes me
restaurant.
hungry. Makes me want a freaking hamburger.
Oh, man. And they got happy hour from 2 to 4?
Oh, full-on chili cheeseburger.
Oh, man.
Chili
You can't
cheese
eat
dogs?
that. But I could eat yours with
Yeah, I can't eat any of that anymore.
the chili cheese pup.
Yeah.
What's up, Sonic?
But anyway,
Sorry.
we got on a tangent. We just got finished eating Chinese, so I'm pretty sure that'll pass through me by the middle of the night. Oh man! So we got to the hotel room. We're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Actually, where are we at? We're in Hickson, Tennessee, which is close enough to Chattanooga to be called Chattanooga. And got here after eating the Chinese and after fishing all day, and Scott clogged up the toilet here in out in Jacob's room.
We're making this live?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, you know what?
As I was blowing up,
I'm a grown man.
I was blowing
right?
up the one in my room.
Grown men do what grown men got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
So
The look on this kid's face, though, when I was like, we're going to need a plunger, and he thought I was kidding.
I didn't get to use my own bathroom.
I gotta look different, you guys. Everybody has their dang bullseye.
I
I'll
got
turn
one
it
top.
upside down.
I mean, I'm always on top.
Gotta get that.
So
Yeah, I
action.
need the press action.
what the goal of this trip to Chattanooga is Jacob is here to teach me and teach Scott about how to use all the little details of the Anglr app that I've talked about on the live Friday night lives for the last several weeks. And what we did today is we went around and we tried to catch fish, and marked where we caught fish, marked where we saw bait, use the app like we normally use it. And now we're trying to figure out how to. Oh, you finally stopped.
I finally stopped my trip. My phone's been dead
We
for
might
6
as well-
hours.
might as
I don't
well
wanna
just
go
tell
with
them
that.
what
I mean,
happened there.
But
Oh my God.
so the goal is for me to learn enough about this app to be able to use it in instructional videos and show you guys where I'm going on the lake, what's happening there, what the weather's like, what the water conditions are like, and that kind of thing. And a lot of this stuff is coming in the next few weeks or months for me able to do this, but I want to be able to learn it first before everything else. So the video I'm producing starting yesterday and today and tomorrow is basically a vlog video about our fishing trip. It's not going to be about how to use the app. It's basically, you'll see.
And if you guys have seen the struggle that we've had to set this up tonight,
It's been the whole.
you understand why we're having to really kind of, for us, you've been with the company and using this app and
Almost
this technology
3 years
for
now,
3
yeah.
years now.
Yep.
And not only that, but the app is evolving. It's changing regularly. They're constantly doing updates and adding things and bringing things better. We've sat down now since ICAST and talked about the mission of where you guys want to go with the app.
Yeah.
And it lines up perfectly with what Gene wants to do.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And so it's this is a learning curve for all of us.
Yeah.
And much like this live broadcast is tonight. So that's what this trip has been about. It's been about really getting getting us familiar with the app so that we don't sound like idiots whenever we're trying to teach people about how to use it, because it is something that we believe in.
Yeah,
So,
and what I'm excited about with it is that you guys will be able to. I'm literally going to try to figure out how I can shoot a video, and then go back and use the app, so you guys can be looking at the app and watching the video at the same time, and see where I went, and I can explain why. I can then do a separate video on why I was there, why the fish were there. Use map reading, do all kinds of other stuff using the app, and you guys can get a better picture of where I'm at and why I'm there, and like I said, why the fish are there, why the bait are there, and everything else. Like today, you'll see as we go, we're going to try to go through a little bit of it, but as we go through it, you'll see that the fish are located in specific locations, and I'm going to explain why the fish were there, what was happening, and I figured all this out after I got off the lake and looked at all the different places I caught fish and where I saw bait fish and things like that, and I was like, that's what's going on. And I went and I checked the lake levels, and sure enough, I was right. So that's kind of the cool things that I'll be able to do via a video from here on out, as soon as we get all this stuff figured out in my stupid head, and his too.
And something that just came out today is our public profile. So as we're talking about our trips today, you guys can actually see exactly where Gene went, exactly where I was, where Scott was. If you go to Anglr.com/Flukemaster for him, Life Outdoors for me, and Scott Butcher for Scott. So go to our personal links. You can pull up the trips, and then as we're talking through them, you guys will be able to see exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's one of the things you can do right now is go to Anglr.com/Flukemaster, and you can see that I made this trip today public. And I'm going to start doing that with just about every trip except for I might even do the disasters. You know, what the heck?
You learn something from every trip.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, we were talking about that when we were out today, because today was a tough bite.
Your internet is like really, really glitchy. So like everyone just missed totally what you said about Anglr.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so I got people. I'm watching the messages right now. So just kind of say what you said about Anglr and about how we all have public profiles and all that again, because it just totally messed up.
Oh, okay. All right. And that's because you're hooked up to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Well, we're using the computer, so I have to.
Yeah. So we're on the hotel Wi-Fi, guys. So.
Yeah. So if things are getting bad, let Alex know.
So
we'll reset.
So basically, what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the trip that we had today on Chickamauga, kind of get you guys a sneak peek about what's going on and how this is going to work out. And we've all made our profiles and our trip today public, and you go to mine by going to Anglr.com/Flukemaster, and you can pull that up, and you can see the trip that we did today on Chickamauga and see all 6 fish that I caught. The one that Scott caught on Anglr.com/Scott Butcher. I don't know if you guys can spell his last name.
That's okay.
And the 2 that he lost today because he was using a pansy rod for these big bass in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I'm from Ohio, northern Ohio, so you know.
Yeah,
he had a Yankee stick.
Everybody that's on. So we're also doing a broadcast on the Facebook page for Anglr, which is the connection's great over there. Not to try and poach your people, but
So
just in case
so guys,
out.
if you're having a hard time on YouTube, go to the Anglr Facebook page, and you can see us live there as well. And Anglr Facebook page. Introduction to the YouTube page, vice versa.
Yep.
Glad you can see each other, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So getting out on the water this morning was quite interesting because Alex was actually here. We fished in the kayaks yesterday for a full day. Spent all day yesterday in the bona fides. Tim Perkins came up. I think Alex got a full video out of that, didn't you, Alex?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm actually working on editing it right now, so I'll have it out soon.
So that'll be coming out for you guys to take a look at as well. But we fished yesterday in the kayaks. I had dinner last night. Gene came up, and we were able to kind of get together. We hit the water. We're getting ready to hit the water hard this morning. Alex, you want to give them the short version of what your morning was like?
Yeah, sure. So I get in, get the boat cover off the boat, get rods out, get everything ready to go to the boat ramp, and get in my truck, turn it over. And when I do, 4 low is flashing. my check engine light is flashing and my anti-traction control light is flashing. And so I thought it was probably where the truck had set on a hill all night with a boat on the back of it. So I drop it down in a drive and pull out on the main road. And when I do, it is driving like it is in four-wheel low. So it won't go over 30 miles an hour. So me and Jacob pull into the Texas Roadhouse parking lot and start Googling away, trying to figure out what's up. And I call a mechanic buddy of mine, and he pretty much says, try to get it to the nearest Toyota dealership. And so Jacob gets behind me on the interstate, and I get on the interstate pulling a 21-foot Skeeter and put my flashers on and drive 30 all the way up the interstate to the nearest Toyota dealership and go in there, and they put it on the computer and seen that it was some type of air sensor, and luckily it was under warranty. So my truck is in Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm going to have to drive an hour and a half to get it in the morning, but it was under warranty. It's being fixed. It's done. So luckily, that is the upside to the whole day right there.
Well, hey, I got a suggestion. Since you're saving that money with your truck being under warranty, I really feel like you should buy some real pants.
Yeah, probably. I own pants. It's not very fair.
But that's just part of like a day of fishing. You're gonna have some crazy thing happen. It's never gonna go the way you want it to go.
Yep. So anyway, we got out on the water this morning. Some good friends of mine and Gene's. John Cox came up to fish with us. He's an angler. He's fishing the Costa Series coming up this next year. His daughter Taylor Cox is one of the Flukemaster fans that you popped in on earlier in the year in another video. You guys can find that one or seen that one if you're
Woke her up in her bed in the morning.
Yeah. So we fished with them today, so we were able to get out with them. Alex came out and jumped on the boat with us a little bit before lunchtime. And we were able to get some good footage. For Gene and I, we were able to spend some time inside the app, learning some of the ins and outs. Setting some waypoints. Some of the stuff with the differentiating. Setting grass areas and rock piles and stumps and different things like that you can do. Was something I learned.
I haven't learned it yet.
Catching some of the fish, setting up the waypoints.
How to catch the fish.
How to catch the fish is
That's a key.
That's my specialty.
That's a key. How to set the hook. Do we have that video? You should watch it.
Man, I set the hook. It's just
the Yankee rod wasn't. The Yankee rod wasn't doing it.
I'm sure that somebody's giving me hate in the Anglr comments section because some of my buddies are watching right now.
Yeah, because he set the hook today about 4 times, just never into a fish.
Okay. Yeah. I had one on for a little while. He popped off, but somebody said Sup Team Westbrook Supply Co.
That's right. Anthony Rodell right there. He's a fellow Westbrook Supply Co. member with Gene and I. So, that's Anthony there.
Oh, Mike asked what rod I lost that fish on. It was on the Vexen rod, but it was a spinning rod, and I really shouldn't have been throwing spinning gear. But
I don't even own a spinning rod, at all. I don't own a spinning rod.
Mike knows that.
I've got 100. There's probably 25 rods in my garage. There's not a single spinning rod. It's crazy. Anyway, it's the difference of fishing up north and down south.
And he doesn't know how to use a spinning rod anyway.
So I can't. You're right. I probably couldn't.
No, we don't.
All right. So can we dive into this app a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's.
Since we got your phone working.
Yeah, right. Since my phone's working.
Run through what's going on.
Well, now this is on mine. You want to pull up Gene's or you want to go to my profile?
We can go.
I can pull up mine
here.
Yeah, Gene's got his phone there too.
Pull up mine too.
All right, so we're gonna pull up one of these guys. We want to show y'all some of this.
Wait, Alex is saying something.
If you screen share on this Hangout and show the actual page, like if you pull it up on the internet. I don't know how much it'll affect your internet, but I just know you can do that.
It'll screw it up.
I mean, I have it pulled up right now. Maybe that's why it's so bad. But
yeah, let me pull mine up.
How do I? Could we see what people say about it? See if it works at all, or?
We can also go on if you can get your Bluetooth or get your you can use my phone as a hotspot.
Oh,
if you want to.
Yeah, I mean that would be.
It's gonna shut it down whenever.
Oh, to cut over.
To cut over. It is, isn't it? Shoot.
Should have thought of that earlier. Oh well.
Yep. Hey, can you see my screen? Are you guys seeing my screen right now?
Yep.
There you go. All right, hold on just one second.
There you
go. I'll go. Who do you want to go to?
Go to mine. I marked a lot of spots on mine.
Yeah, his looks prettier than mine.
You have to give away.
Yeah, his looks.
Alex, I'll text you a password. Hang on.
All right.
Well, he's going to the public page.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Which is perfect.
Even
Because people will be able to.
All right, guys. So if you were to Google Anglr.com/life outdoors, Alex Rip Fishing, Flukemaster, Scott, do you have a live one too?
Correct.
But
So
it's his
Scott,
name that nobody can spell.
It's the name that nobody can spell or say.
Scott Butcher.
Scott
Let me
Butcher.
clear this up.
So if you were to pull that up, you guys are going to see something very similar to what I have pulled up here. And Jacob, you kind of want to walk them through this, and just I'll scroll up and down and do as I need to as you talk. How about that?
The only problem is, as I'm talking, it's going to switch to our
No, it's
faces,
not.
right?
I clicked it to
Yeah,
stay.
you
Oh, okay, cool.
We're good.
All right, so if you go to my trips, so this is my public profile that anybody on here can go to. Let's see, go to Fishing with Gene Jensen.
Like I'm special or something.
I got to sit in your boat today. That was pretty cool. I vlogged it. I was like, never thought I'd be sitting in this boat, so it was pretty wild. And then if you zoom in on the map there, we can kind of run people through how the day went. So I don't know. Do you want to talk them through what you guys were doing before I got there?
Yep. Go up a little bit.
Here.
Yep.
Yeah, zoom in one of those pockets.
So you see this little red arrow down over this little red one right here, and it just went away.
Yeah, flip that over for these guys.
It's gonna be south. It's gonna be right there on Sail Creek boat ramp is what I'm trying to point out.
Actually,
Yeah,
look,
that's the
it
boat
looks
ramp we put in on it. It's actually got
Hang
a marker for the, and that's what the marker
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like for wherever you enter the lake. So you can always get back if you get lost or whatever else. All right. So go out on Main Lake, Alex, and go to that pocket.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just going to hit replay.
Yep.
And so that'll let you see. It'll start marking them there.
So
You can see Gene's path here.
Yep. Now,
So this is when I got in.
yeah, this is after he got in the boat. You can actually see the path in which we traveled. So he didn't show up until 12 because your truck broke down.
Facts.
But this pocket right here, I caught 4 in that. See that little yellow mark? Yep, right there. With see the honey hole mark that's got the 3 little dots on it.
Gene, you're breaking up real bad, buddy. I can't hear you.
You see the 3 little dots? The marker with the 3 little dots on it.
Yeah, that one right there.
Yep, that's the honey hole. And I caught 3 or 4 in the back of that little pocket. Now, the fish were centered in the back of the deep spot in that pocket. Okay, you can see where there's grass. You see there's grass all the way around there.
That's where they were bunching those shad
But they were bunching the shad up in that deep hole. Okay? And so I caught 3 and 5 casts with a fluke. And then I caught another one on a Alabama rig. No, I caught 5 in the back of that. No.
Yeah, that's where we came up and
Yeah, I must have
started
forgotten to
hitting with
mark
the chatterbait.
one because I caught a couple more after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so fluke was mainly the thing they were hitting, but they were in shallow water, but they're in that deep hole. Now, if you pull back out to the main lake, you don't have to zoom out. You can just kind of slide to that. That little dot right there is where I caught my first fish of the day, and that was on a transition spot. It was from where the rock went from small rock to large rock. Okay, and I also caught that one on a fluke. And I still hadn't put the puzzle together. Okay, so then I went and picked up Jacob, and we ran up into the very next pocket, or the next big pocket, to see if the pattern held true, and it didn't. That pocket was a little bit different. It was real shallow, so we came all the way down here to Eldridge Slough, and this is where we ended our day, pretty much. But went back in this little pocket down in Murphy Slough, which is down on the south end, and didn't catch anything. There was no bait fish back there, and that's kind of where I figured there would be. But so it didn't match the other one.
Well, now we had noticed there too, Gene. Remember that water back in that corner was so much darker
Yep.
than the
Totally
water that we had been
different color.
earlier.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally
it was a
different
completely
color.
different color.
It was like a gray color. It's,
Yep.
And when I see something I hardly ever, or have never seen before, or hardly ever see, it just completely, I'm just like, I don't even want to fish here. So
Well, even yesterday, Alex, and to bring you in a little bit, I mean, we were noticing some yesterday with talking about some of the pH in the water, and I don't want to get too scientific into that now, but the pH yesterday in the water, you could tell that the water yesterday when we were up in the creek in the kayaks, the water was just a complete different color and just almost a different texture, if that makes sense, to the water than what there was further down that we've seen today.
And the water temperature was 55 degrees. There's a lot of people asking that. So, so we went back out, go up a little bit, Alex, go to the mouth of the creek. And can you hear me, Alex? Alex.
Boom.
He's going to log back in.
He's logging back in.
He's going to log back in. We'll give him a second. Everybody else still there? Because we're still broadcasting. I'm actually...
Yeah, we're still also...
We're
We're
lost
still,
all audio.
Guys on the Facebook channel here, we're still running this off of the... let me flip this back around.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know what just happened.
Yep, screen share all that again.
Okay. So, Scott, last thing I heard was something, you said something to me and then I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, we were just talking about the difference in the water, talking about some of the pH. We're not going to get into that too deep, but talking about the differences in the water, because even yesterday when we went back up into the creek channels in the kayaks, you could tell that it was a different color, and I don't, texture is probably not the right word, but if you're out on the water a lot, you understand what I mean by that. There was a different texture to the water.
It was just weird.
Yeah, it was. It's I don't want to talk about the thickness of water, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
In that murky, dingy type of water. And yesterday, way up in the creeks, we didn't have that. We had that real green, type of water. Almost crystal clear, but in a green water.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I remember Alex was talking about how he was thinking there was some sort of pH imbalance.
Yeah, it almost was like a pH weirdness,
Yeah.
But Mark Cantrell, the water temperature was 55 most of the day. It fluctuated. It was 50 in the morning, but by the time we started catching fish, it was about 55, and it got up into 60. So, what'd you do, Alex? You messing stuff up? I said, what are you doing? Messing stuff up?
Yes, I don't know what I'm doing. Hi.
All right.
Okay, I see you. We're back here.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Zoom in, or make it full screen and zoom in.
Yeah.
All right. So we pull back out of this pocket. Now you see me doing all these little donuts and going back and forth. Well, Scott was trying to get a drone shot of me and couldn't get the drone to work. He finally got it to work. So you see me going.
Throw Scott under the bus.
Yeah, I threw him under the bus. But anyway, so we started zigzagging around out there. But you see, you were right there. See that pocket right there? Just to the north of your hand, or the mark, or whatever they call that stupid thing.
Yes.
Yep, that little pocket right there. I got bit right in the mouth of it, and it was on the outside, on kind of an internal grass line. So you had the inside grass line, you had a little cut that was in between that grass line where that green dot is, and then you had the outside grass line, and they were again in a hole, in a deep spot, in between the grass. And I got bit, but I literally, set the hook on the chatterbait, and all I got was my chatterbait. It took my trailer off. And so we milled around that whole pocket and came back out, and Jacob got bit and lost a fish because he was using a spinning rod. And he lost another fish just a little further down, that orange mark that's right there.
Right as we started losing these fish, also the weather was changing.
Yeah,
completely.
the clouds moved in, the wind was blowing a little bit harder, and the rain started. So the weather completely changed. So we worked our way around, went around this long point, came around the other side, and it was real shallow where he marked that one little green dot. But right there where that camera is, there and there, I caught a fish right there, about a 2.5 pounder, not a bad fish for right there. It was outside grass, and that was my last fish for the day.
Did you take a picture of that fish, Gene?
You can click on it in the map.
you can click on it.
Pull up, or just scroll down and show them some of the photos from the day. They can get an idea of what the weather was looking like.
Now I caught that one on a chatterbait in the outside grass, the deeper grass. And so putting all of this together about dinner time, of course it always happens after you get off the lake. I'm like, the lake levels must have been falling today, because none of the fish were super shallow. They were in 3 to 4 foot of water, but they were not super shallow. They weren't on that inside grass line where I would expect them to be when it's got high water. And so they had all pulled out to the outside grass line and into deeper holes to where if that water keeps falling, they can pull out further, and they just have to, they don't want to get trapped up in the shallow water. So if you've got falling water, and I went and I checked the lake levels on the TVA app, and of course, the water had been falling all day. And it doesn't have to fall fast, it doesn't have to fall a lot to scare the crap out of them, and they just pull out to that deeper cover. So I hope my audio is still working. I just turned my phone off, so. But, cool. But anyway, so we pulled out. So the fish were all on outside grass lines. Now, if we'd have had 2 more hours to fish, I would have grabbed that chatterbait and I would have literally fished nothing but deeper grass. So tomorrow as we go out, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to fish the mouths of these pockets and these creeks, mainly the pockets, and we're going to fish that outside grass line. We're going to fish a little bit deeper, maybe 4 to 8 feet of water, maybe 8 to 10 feet of water, and see if we catch fish. I'm not looking for monsters. I know Jacob wants to catch a 10-pounder. I'm not the guy, but
everybody wants to catch a
I'm
10-pounder.
At this point, it's like I'm just trying to catch a damn fish out here. I drove.
I'm gonna give Jacob one of my meat sticks and let him go fishing.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be throwing the spinning rod tomorrow. Gonna make that adjustment. That was my mistake for the day. But.
So that's the kind of things that I use the app to learn. Okay, and now the cool thing is all that stuff stays on my phone. In a year, I can look at it again, and it'll help me remember when I have a horrible memory. It'll help me to remember. You know how many Texas rig videos I've done because I thought I've only done 2? I think I've done 6.
Well, that's about 6 online. Yeah.
So, definitely.
See, he's already forgetting things now. Like
Sorry.
The next thing he's gonna say.
Butterflies.
Millennials.
But I want to be able to go back and look at past deals and say, okay, the weather conditions were like this. What happened? Where did I make my mistakes? And where did I succeed? You know, that kind of stuff. What do you think, Alex? I feel like I'm leaving you out. Oh,
I agree with everything.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said yes. I agree with everything that you said. Yeah, I mean, so I really wish I could have been on the lake today. It was cool though. So I think this is going to be a cool perspective for me because I didn't get to go out with you guys today, just to be able to see kind of what your mindset was
And what you
and
missed.
kind of look at that map, just to watch you guys to see the decisions that you made. You know what I mean? And I do definitely agree with Gene. Yesterday, I told you guys, when we were kayak fishing, I said if they drop the lake levels, because we had a little bit of a water line.
Yep.
And, like Gene said, a lot of the times those fish, they're not wanting to get caught, especially when you're in that shallow water. And what they'll do is they'll pull off. They'll get on those grass edges. They'll get on those drops, and that's where they kind of want to hang out. And I really, truly believe yesterday, I just know from the 2 fish that I caught, one of them, towards the middle of the day as the water started dropping, it pulled up on a bluff wall, which is the easiest place for that fish to be when that water level's fluctuating like that, because they can move vertically and not have to move, or they can move horizontally and not vertically. So,
Right.
No, vertically, not horizontally. You know what I'm trying to, up and down, not left and right. That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
trying to say.
Yeah, you don't have to be technically exact on this thing. That's exactly. And a lot of you guys that are watching, you're going to hear me say this multiple times. I really think this app will work really, really good for bank fishermen, because what I used to do back in the day is I would draw a paper map of the lake I was fishing, and I would keep marks on. I keep that map folded up inside my tackle box, and when I go to the lake, I would mark everywhere I caught a fish, and I would do that every time I went fishing, and eventually I would find the hot spots on that lake where I could literally almost go every day and catch a fish on those spots. And it was just one of those key spots on the lake, and it just makes it 10 times easier to be able to have it on your phone these days. So
yeah, guys, from a novice, because that's what I am. I'm a novice angler, and so for me, what I love about it is that I love this app because not you folks are not going to be going out and wanting to look and see where I'm not catching fish, but for me, to be able to create my logbook and be able to set up, this is what I was using, and taking what I'm learning from watching, Alex's videos and Gene's videos, and watching these other guys in the industry, and for me learning to fish in this industry, to be able to go in and use the app and to be able to set up and record your own history of what you were doing, to learn by yourself, and to actually take what you're learning from these guys like Alex and Gene, and from watching their channels, but really see how it's really working on my local, on the water that I'm fishing and what I'm doing it as.
And the thing that we have going on now with the app is map view. And so what map view is you can go in, you don't have to be in a specific trip, you can just be in the broad map. So you can go in, mark points before you go to the water, say, hey, this log jam looks good here, or this break in the current looks good. And so also in that you can stack previous trips. Like you were saying, you write on the same map where you caught fish. Now it's all logged in your phone.
So we come back to the same creek. We can take and stack these maps.
You can see multiple different trips on the same time, so you can see exactly where you were catching the
that's money right there.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Super
I see a lot of guys over here, like in the chat, and they're asking about, if you have any tips. I'm a new fisherman, and if you have any tips for this area, and even like a lot of comments that I get are about, hey, do you have certain tips for certain places? This app and the ability that we have with this app is pretty much a comprehensive place that we can go give you that kind of information.
Yep.
Because when you have a map and you have weather conditions and you can add water conditions and you can add baits, and then you can go back and you can see what time of year that something was going on, that literally is the most comprehensive way, other than you going fishing with us, that we can show you exactly what we're fishing. And, I made the comment today, it's almost like a guide trip without actually going out with the guy and going fishing.
Yeah, well, I get inboxes 20 or 30 a day about how can I go fish with Gene? How can I go fish with Gene? And with this, you can literally get in the boat through your phone and be right there with us. Yep. If you see that we were at Chickamauga this week and you're off this Saturday, you can go in, and if we had a great day, you can go in and literally put in where we put in at, and hit every single point that we hit because we're marking them.
Yep. And for those of you who are hopping on now, Gene's going to share his link on the comment section there for how you can get to his profile. So it's just anglr.com/Flukemaster.
Yep.
And that's the map that we were just talking about a little bit ago. For those of you who missed that in the struggles of our live session here. What do we got here? Mike's asking if we tried spoons at all.
No, they weren't that deep.
Yeah, we weren't fishing deep at all, so no spoon fishing was going on.
I think the deepest that we saw stuff on screens was probably 20 feet range was probably as deep as we saw them moving around. Yep. So when we were talking about that was probably some smallies that they were catching in the they were catching the tournament earlier on Saturday.
I might go at least try some of those.
The Tennessee Valley Kayak Anglers had a tournament Saturday. And what'd you say? They were catching 20
the winners were catching big smallies in about 18 to 20 feet of water. So, I wanted to go fish for those. I might try that tomorrow with a drop shot and a Ned rig.
Yeah, we're going back out tomorrow. We're going to be hopping in his boat and trying to tear him up. And if we're doing drop shots and Ned rigs, you know what that means. I get to fish my spinning rod.
I'm going to throw that thing in the lake.
Let's see.
It's a noodle too, man. It's not like it's a stiff rod. He sets the hook and he just about freaking the tip stays still.
In the boat with me this morning, I just had to look at it, and I was thinking, what does he catch? Trout and bluegills on that thing? I thought he sets up a 600.
He hits himself in the butt on the back cast. I mean, just
he hits himself in the butt
like a bullwhip.
We both hit each other with.
But one of my personal bests, that 998 that I caught out of the grass back in 06 now. I caught it on a noodle rod, man.
06, that was 12 years
8
ago.
pound. That's the first time I ever used Seaguar fluorocarbon in it, and because it was an 8 pound test, I caught this 998 out of the grass, and it did not break. And I'm like, that's it. I'm going to use Seaguar the rest of my life. Man.
Let's see here. What do we got going on in the comments?
Throw a stupid rig tube in that grass tomorrow, Gene. I might have to do that. I got some original slots set up with that. So we've been throwing that rig before they named it.
The stupid tube. Oh, I feel like I've heard that one. Let's anything interesting?
I didn't know Sean White started fishing.
Hey, I don't have red hair.
What did that girl call him last night?
Okay, so I get tagged. We went to dinner last night. I got tagged by Scott with Scott and Gene in a dinner picture, And I think within 3
were all-
minutes,
yeah, we were
somebody
all-
commented. One of his friends commented, "Why does the guy look
Talking
like
about
from the Twilight
Jacob
series?"
looks like Jacob from Twilight. And if you're familiar because you're a younger fan, then you get what we mean by this Jacob looks just like that Jacob. If not, then somewhere in these comments later, I'll merge a picture of them together side by side, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I tell you what, Alex, pull up my profile, and because I set a couple of waypoints for some of the spots that we hit today, and let's kind of walk and let's kind of run through that. Some of the guys we're talking about wanted to see more of how that works, so let's run through this one more time, and while we got a good streaming, and see if we can kind of walk us and see if we can kind of let everybody walk us through that. For the Facebook audience, guys, I'm gonna flip y'all around so y'all can watch the screen here, so y'all are still with us there. All right, here we go.
Let's see if you get your name right.
That's right. Yeah, well, my name's Tricky.
Beutjer.
That's right.
Wow. I still can't spell it.
What now? BEU what?
TJER.
T. Oh God. Hold on. TJER.
Yep, that's it.
Beautiful. There it is.
Yeah, isn't that a cool picture of him?
Look
So
at
we want to
that.
go to my trip.
Look at that kayak, man.
That's a good-looking kayak right there.
One.
Yes, sir.
Day was it? No, it was day 2. Wasn't that a kayak trip right there?
Yeah, that's the.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
day
yeah.
2, you just ended it. You got to share
Yeah.
that to your
Oh,
publicly.
Yeah, you gotta go in
yeah.
and share it publicly.
Okay, hang on, wait, my phone's back. I can do that.
We can hey, so how about we go
You
want to
do
go
it.
to your profile, Alex, and I can run you through the new map view deal since you weren't here to see it. You want to pull up just your regular profile?
Sure. So, like this one or just my regular one?
If you want to sign into your actual web app profile, and we can go to the web app and just kind of Scott could even mark up his points in there.
And David Wilbur asked a question real quick, and I'll go ahead and answer it since you guys are screwing around. Hey, do you recommend any of the Cabela's rods personally? For a first bait caster, I recommend any of the Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's combos that you can afford.
Yeah,
It's a good one to start with, to learn with, because you're not out a whole lot of money if you hate it. And then I use it until it breaks, but be saving up enough money for another one. That's what I did, and I never regretted it. So that's what I would do.
Should be
All right, Joe. So I'm on my profile, my man.
sweet. Alrighty. So if you go to that Explorer on the top there,
Mm-hmm. Hold on just 1 second. Yes.
and go to map view.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of the new deal that we're working on that we just revamped completely. So what you're able to do now is you can go to historic waypoints, toggle on different trips that you've already done. So that's how you guys can stack your multiple trips from the same place. But if you just zoom into say Chickamauga or some lake, you can drop some points in there, talk about things that were interesting to you. So if we go in, if you want to zoom into Chickamauga,
Yeah, or zoom into something.
I'll zoom in. Let's go. We'll just go. I think this one's Loudon. Yeah, let's go to Loudon here. I got one right here.
Okay.
sweet.
Okay.
So what you can do now is you can add. Yeah, let's.
You're good. Go ahead.
You can add in points without actually opening up a trip. So if you go pick a couple of spots that look good and add some points. So if you see some logs or something, you can mark structure, or if you see
You're not going
Riprap.
to see any grass on that one.
Oh, here's a good one. So I know this is actually, you can kind of see it. We can't get zoomed in on it, but that is actually a big pile of rocks right there.
Yep.
So this is a mud bank that has timber on it all the way to this point, and then these people at this airport, for some reason, have dumped a bunch of boulders and rocks in here. So we can go there and add. We'll hit the plus symbol, and we'll add.
And then just drag it over
Where's some rocks at?
right above shelf.
Where's that one?
Right there. You got
Right
it.
there
No.
it says rock, ROCK.
Yep. R-O-C-K, is that how we spell it?
I'm sorry. I'm such a
That's
smart.
R-O-C-K.
I'm such a smart butt.
Sorry.
There is some rocks. Then we can actually go right here as well. So here's the actual fish catch. This fish just pulled up on this main lake point, but then right here, I know for a fact there are a couple brush piles. So we'll go in there and we'll add two structure marks as well, so that I can have those saved. There you go.
And then what we've got now going on is you can select all 3 of those, and so click on Build Pack.
So click on what?
Down on the bottom.
Down in the bottom middle.
Build pack.
Build pack.
So X out of that, and then select those 3 waypoints. I thought you already had them selected. Sorry.
Scott, I'm gonna get to your question in just a second. We see it. I'm gonna get to your question. I'm gonna let Alex answer.
So click on, or stay on that page. Yep, and then click on those 3 points that you just made, and you can actually build a pack and name it up for future reference. So if it's like spots you want to hit, you can call that. You can call it whatever suits your fancy. Fire spots.
All right, Jacob. So we got a guy here asking, says he's tried to build a map pack on his iPad Pro today, and it wouldn't let him drop any waypoints. Is it only set up for laptop and desktop?
So I think right now for the release, it's optimized for desktop, but that should be, within a few days.
Like we said earlier, guys. The Anglr app is still growing. They're still learning and adding multiple things. We're behind the scenes. We've had a bunch of different conversations about the direction of where they're going and what they're doing, which is why we're all, myself and Gene and Alex and all of us are here now is working on some different things to get this where we want it all to be ultimately. But yeah, so for right now, like you said, it's optimized for it to work best for you to come back in after the trip and go in and drop those waypoints and add the brush piles like you just saw Alex doing, and adding the rocks and adding some of those finer details. That stuff's coming in the app, but right now it's something that's best used from your home computer.
Now, Mark Cantrell asked, "Do you guys use the tracker, thinking of getting a bullseye, but don't know how the tracker works?"
So the tracker is basically it's the rod mounted device. Correct. I don't have any of my rods in here right now, but the way the tracker works is it's mounted onto your rod. You pair it up with your phone before you start fishing, and then as you're casting, it's going to keep a cast count. It's also going to be running with the Anglr app, so you're getting weather data, water data during the time that you're fishing. So it's doing the same thing as the bullseye, but it's adding on your cast count. So if that's something that you're interested in, either if you're doing friendly competitions with trying to see who does best cast to count wise or catch to count wise, but it's the bullseye is really the super key tool, because it's just, there it is right there. Super simple. You catch a fish, click that button once, it pulls up a camera in your app and snap a picture, get your fish back in the water.
And look, guys, I want to be clear too. Just because Gene for a long time and the long-time Gene fans completely understand that this isn't us just trying to sell you guys this bullseye. Nope. And the Anglr guys will tell you his way. The app is absolutely free, guys. If you guys aren't yet sold or have questions, or do just like we did, we downloaded it after iCast, and we didn't get bullseyes for I think 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. And then we had the bullseyes for 2 or 3 months before sending it.
It was one of those things to where download the app. There is some learning. It is new. It is software. It's gonna be just like any other program that you got to go in and learn. You're gonna have to spend some time with it. There's a ton of resources online. Drop some of the resources online, and you guys have got some killer stuff, blogs.
Yeah. So if you go to Anglr.com, there's a fishing intelligence area, it's called the community tab. We've got a bunch of blogs. Derek at Anglr's running that page, doing a great job keeping content fresh.
Alex, can we run them through that real quick? Let's go to Anglr.com and show them, and let's show them that. Let's show them some of the resources that they've put together. I did the Yak Attack team member Instagram takeover, and y'all gave me the 100 kayak tips.
Yeah,
that was a blog that you guys had posted on the page, and I hadn't seen it before. And y'all had guys like Dave Lefebvre and a bunch of other, Perkins, Tim Perkins, Dave Lefebvre.
Who's Dave Lefebvre?
Who's Dave Lefebvre?
Yeah,
If you're watching this and you don't know who Dave Lefebvre is, guys, y'all need to go do some Googling. Never heard of her? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Never heard of her.
Sorry, Dave. All right, so we're gonna flip.
I'll be getting a text from him.
Yeah, you'll be getting a text in just a minute. So, guys, we're gonna flip this around, and I just want to show you guys a little bit because like I said, this isn't a sales pitch for the Bullseye. This app right now is completely free. Go in and download it on your Android and or iPhone. But walk through right here, and like I said, show us some of the community and stuff, Alex, and we'll let you and Jacob kind of walk us through the site.
Yeah. So the first thing we got going
Blow
on.
this up on the full screen.
I think it is.
It is on.
It's that would be.
Oh,
his
I got you.
screen
I got
that
you. I
needs
got
to-
you.
Yeah, we're good.
But so the first deal we got going on is like we got the Anglr experts. So that's these guys here. I'm one of the experts. They're experts. Our profiles are considered expert profiles in the app. So we're going to be the ones that are sharing a lot of our trips.
I'm not on
Yeah,
there yet.
Alex, your profile's top corner, man. But
I'm
these
not
are
on
some
there
of these are some of the guys that we're working with, who are creating content for us and keeping things fresh in our blog posts. So let's see here. Oh, there's Dave.
Yeah, you need
There's
a better
Dave.
Picture. Need a better picture of him. Yeah.
So let's show them some of the blog posts. We can go up to the
Fishing
resource
Intelligence.
center.
Yeah.
Third one down, Resource Center. Oh, wrong.
Good.
No, Resource Center. Try it again.
Sorry, I lost y'all again. Sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
So this is where we've got our massive pages. So if like there's a big document that you guys want to take some time to read through, this is the page for it. We've got our kayak tips, over 100 kayak tips from some big names. That's what Scott was talking about. College Fishing 101, if you guys are interested in getting into college fishing, that's we got a bunch of college guys that worked on that. I was one of them.
There's old Timmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Tim Perkins. That's who they fished with yesterday.
Tim was the man.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. So this page, yeah, this is awesome for those guys who are either high school or early in college and are looking to get into competition bass fishing
Just
at the collegiate level.
Tons of good information, guys. Let me flip this camera back around. I want you to walk them through a little bit about if you don't have the Bullseye or you're just ordering the Bullseye, how can they go and get started with just the app?
So I mean, the app it's completely free to download. It's all you got to do is go to the App Store, type in Anglr, download it, and create an account. Totally free. You can start a trip in the app. You can basically do anything that you need to without the Bullseye. The Bullseye is just the added
convenience.
benefit of simplicity.
The Bullseye, guys, is convenience. We're still setting up when we get to the boat ramp in the mornings. We're setting up where we're at. We're setting up our rod locker and what else is it? Cause it's not a rod locker. Y'all caught something else in the app. It's
Tackle box.
the tackle box where you can set up your rods and your reels, and I mean you can get down very detailed into showing exactly what if you're showing a 7.6 medium heavy fast, you can put that in the system, and if you're throwing 25-pound fluorocarbon Seaguar on it, you can put that in there as well. And so you can really dial in exactly what you're doing. Exactly. And the difference is if you don't have the Bullseye that we're all wearing on our hats now, is that when you catch a fish, you just have to open up and go into the app and set your catch or set your waypoints there. The Anglr company is not built around this button that's on top of our head, this Bullseye. That's not what the Anglr company is. The Anglr company is an intelligent software company that is that's building and teaching people how to be better anglers and how to do more and how to log their trips without if you're one of these guys like Alex who grew up with his dad on the boat. I'm sure Alex, your dad carried a pad and paper, right? And wrote everything down.
I still carried a pad and paper until stuff like this started to come around. And I can remember, having old notebooks that were all, the colors were bleeding on them because they got wet and stuff. Where we would be writing down, fish catches, water conditions, baits that we were throwing, and even still today. I mean, me and Dad will sit down and just over dinner and talk about different, okay, what were we doing this time last year? And we'll pull up our pictures and our notes and we'll go through that. And with Anglr, now that is just, like I said before, it's all in one place. It's a comprehensive tool to do that job. And I love a functional, comprehensive tool.
Yeah,
There's a tool for every job. And Anglr has created a tool for logging fish catching, logging waypoints, logging baits, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So,
And I've tried other apps, and I'm not going to bash them, but this has been the easiest one for me to use. It's not complicated. It does take. There is a learning curve. You do have to get into it and mess around with it and make mistakes with it and just freaking, there's a reason why I turn my bullseye around on the bottom of my bill, because if it's up on the top, I forget. And if I forget to hit the button. There's a lot of these little details you got to learn on your own, but it's easier than any of the other apps that I've tried.
Well, ultimately, I mean, we are changing the way that we fish and changing our habits,
yeah.
and we're creatures of habit, and it's one of those things that we're having to kind of change what we're doing. But I think not only is it something that we're going to be able to learn from, but we're going to be able to teach so much more.
Yep.
Which is what Gene's all about. So
yeah, when they said that this was that their whole goal was to change the way people learn how to fish and to change the way that people can teach each other how to fish, I was in. That was what sold me. I didn't care about a button. I didn't care about making money. I didn't care about nothing. It was just a simple fact that this is another way for me to teach you guys how to fish.
we got a question over here talking about the battery life. These have got a built-in, and I don't know enough of the specs, but I know that they've got a built-in battery. That's not something that you can change out. They're good for 2 years. And as far as it cutting itself on and off, when you log into the app and set your point, you'll connect your bullseye by a simple click, and it Bluetooths to your phone. And then when you end that trip, before you get off the water, you should end your trip, unless you're like me today and your phone died on you and you didn't end your trip until like 7 hours later and you done had dinner and this and that. So now my trip shows where we went to eat. My trip shows that we got back to the hotel room and all that good stuff. But that's what you want to do when you disconnect and you end your trip. Your bullseye will shut itself down, so you're not wasting battery life. At the end of 2 years, guys, the bullseyes are I think $20, $30. But yeah, at the end of 2 years, you got your money's worth.
So that's two questions that I saw several times. Price point $29.99, so $30.
Yep.
And then someone asked, is it private? So every trip is private unless you decide to make it public. But by default, every single trip is private, so you don't have to worry about your juice spots getting blown out by anybody. So.
Yeah, and that was something that was just added, is the share to public feature. So we understand that, people want all their stuff private. Some people want to be sharing things. So we wanted to give people the option of public profiles, which is what we just launched, which is the angler.com/username. So the whole point of that is you can just share specific waypoints if you want, specific catches. You don't have to share a whole trip, If you caught a really massive fish and just want to show that
and you can
off.
share them with your buddies. You can email your buddies them.
Yep.
You don't have to make it public. You can share it with your friends.
So you totally choose the level.
Guys, we had dinner tonight with Taylor Cox up at the Chinese restaurant tonight, and she fishes in the college series. And one of the things that the college anglers and some of the high school anglers are starting to do is that when they go practice for a tournament, they can all take this app with them and these bullseyes, and if they send out 10 boats on the water, they can get back together and be sharing live what they're doing and what the water conditions are at different points of this lake. Guys, we were on Chickamauga today. This is a huge body of water. Absolutely impossible to cover it all in a day or in a weekend or probably in a week to really be thorough with it. But if you guys are practicing, if you guys have got a whole team coming up here and you got 8 or 10 boats out, you can strategically place people on different bodies of water. And I would have to imagine that would be the way to find fish.
Yeah, share trips between teams.
Yep.
It's a great way for a team to break down a whole body of water, no problem. Let's see.
They're talking
Thanks
about.
for hopping on, Brian. Appreciate you.
Talking about some of the.
What they're using.
Showing around using your phones on a tablet. Yeah, that's something they're talking about there.
Another cool feature that we just included is you can now import points from your graphs. And so, like, if you want to take a GPX point, if you have that GPX file, you can now put it into the Anglr app. So that's something that we just added on that a lot of people have been asking for. We're working on doing it the reverse way, getting the app to put into the graphs, which is probably the second most requested thing, or the most requested thing, but it's all in the works. We got a lot of things coming.
Yeah. Yeah, one guy asked, is there a way to follow folks like Gene?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, so you just have to you're going to follow his profile. It's angler.com/Flukemaster. And whenever he wants to, he's going to share his trips, so it's not going to be necessarily live yet. That's a feature that we're working on.
Yeah, that's what I'm begging for.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to share points well on the water. So say he catches a fish, he can immediately hit share to profile.
Yeah.
So it's close, pretty close to live right now. It's just not an actual live tracking.
Yep. What I
system.
want is at the beginning of the day, say share,
Going live.
and it just stays shared all day, so you guys can pretty much
The only problem you're gonna have there is
stalk
that,
me.
Yeah, it's the ones that stalk you, the ones that go get in the boat and then come out on the water. It's kind of like going to a Bass Pro. Like if you guys have never,
a game of hide and go seek.
if you guys have never had the opportunity to walk in a Bass Pro Shop with Gene Jensen, it like we get 10 feet and then it's like okay, let's go 10 feet here. You got to take a picture. You got to sign this. You got to sign that.
Whatever.
It's like walking around, with a rock star over here. But anyway,
And Mark Cantrell made a good comment. He said, check your local tournament regs and make sure it's legal first to share between team members and that kind of stuff. Share while you're on the
So
water.
for the most part, any college series, it's as long as you're not fishing with a guide,
Yeah.
you can share information up to the day of the tournament. So I know college-wise, I fished FLW. That's at least how that worked there. I'm not sure about other series, so
I'm
definitely.
pretty sure you can.
Yeah, definitely be smart and check it, but I don't think it's.
Yep.
But for gearing up for your big tournament or for doing anything on those lines, for practicing, for just like you said, guys, for remembering things, this is definitely the way to go. But unless we got any kind of more questions, you guys want to kind of put a wrap on this game. It's been a long day for all of us. Alex, man, I know we wish you were still here and we wish you were fishing tomorrow. But it is what it is. We'll make the next trip. Soon. We've all had a good time the last couple of days. These kids are getting back out on the water again tomorrow. I've got to get back to work. Alex has got to get his truck back tomorrow, hopefully working and running right.
Yeah.
I'm excited tomorrow night to hop online and see what you guys do tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be sharing our trips tomorrow. So whatever we do on the water tomorrow, make sure you guys check the profiles and you'll get a good idea of where we were, actually exactly where we were and what we caught.
Yeah, we're going to be in the same area. So anybody want to come out to the lake and brave the cold weather, come out and say hi. So I know that Mikey Balls Fishing is out on the lake somewhere today too. I didn't go see him. But
Maybe we'll have to
pretty
go find
awesome. So before we go, if you guys aren't subscribed to Alex Rudd Fishing, RUDD Fishing, subscribe to his channel. And then we got, what's your channel?
My channel's Life Outdoors.
Yep, Life Outdoors. Scott Butcher. Just
My
follow.
channel's not important.
He's not.
I'm
yeah.
just a background guy. It's okay. My
Yeah.
feelings aren't hurt. I don't have a lot of pride. When you look like this, you don't get to have pride.
He's just my cameraman.
Just the cameraman.
But anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. And like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out in the water, go out and catch some fish. And have an awesome evening. Have a good Thanksgiving if I don't see you then. And there will be a Friday Night Live this week. Definitely.
Black Friday Night Live.
Black Friday Night Live.
Black Friday Night
I'm
Live.
going
Twist.
jet black in that one, bro.
Oh man,
Yeah, I might have to wear
What's
my
the
black.
sales
we might need
Sunday
to get
suit.
some giveaways.
Yeah, there's
like
gotta be
maybe let me
something
put
going
together.
on.
Let
We
me
gotta
see if
do
I
some
can put
cool
together
stuff.
some giveaways. Let's see if we can do something big for that.
Yeah. Later, guys.
Holla! Thanks again, Alex.
See you guys.
Holla.
I hope you guys enjoyed that live episode. Let me know if you'd like to see more episodes like that. I know that the sound quality can get a little questionable at times, so obviously that's something we're going to be working on in the future. Thanks again for listening, and as always, I'll catch you next week. Fishing Intelligence, a fishing improvement podcast for the modern angler.